Hello there, and welcome to another episode. And today, I want to give you 5 ways. In fact, I'm going to give you 5 ways you can toughen your mental capacity. 5 ways to toughen your mental capacity. This is actually in no particular order. These are just points that I think I'm pointing out, and let's let's just go right through them. So, number one, you can embrace challenges. One of the things that we should learn to do, especially in our regular lives, daily lives, day-to-day lives, is to embrace challenges. We go through challenges at times, and then when we go through these challenges, we feel defeated. We feel like we cannot move forward. We feel like when able to do anything beyond the challenges that come our lives. Now listen, challenges will always come. Challenges will always be there. You cannot run away from them, nor hide from them. You have to embrace them, and you have to confront and tackle difficult tasks in a regular basis. This is how exactly you build resilience, and this is how you adapt to circumstances. By confronting and tackling these challenges, you build your resilience, and that's how you actually enhance mental toughness. Because if you're able to adapt to a situation, whenever that situation um, comes back around, or it happens again, because you've already adapted to it, then to be easy for you to move through that certain challenge. So embrace challenge. That was number one. And number two, you develop a growth mindset. I'm always saying this. We cannot be stagnant in any phase of our lives. Even if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, we cannot afford to be stagnant. We always have to have a growth mindset. And unfortunately, a growth mindset also means that you have to get out of your comfort zone. Whatever makes you comfortable, whatever makes you not move forward, it's a comfort. That's the comfort zone, and fortunately, that very thing is the thing that will make you stagnant, and in turn, you won't develop your mindset further to what you or to who you are at that certain point in life. So here, when you're developing your growth mindset, you have to cultivate certain beliefs, certain abilities, such as skills. Obviously, skills are very important. The skills that you are able to cultivate, these are the very same skills that will move you forward, that will make you develop a growth mindset. So developing certain skills comes with developing certain abilities. And listen, you do not have to have the best of skills or the highest of skills or go to the best of schools. Just have just basic skills that are a niche to you, right? That can be a niche, and that can actually have impact to people on people, so that it helps other people. And this is how you don't only grow yourself, but you also grow others, and you are also able to attract those who have the same mindset but through these abilities and skills and abilities are the basics, usually to get you somewhere further, further, or to take you somewhere that you want to go. But with skills and abilities, you also need to develop those skills further. You can't just say, because I have a degree, right? You have certain abilities that you attained through that degree, maybe. Then that's it. No, you still have to develop other abilities. You still have to develop further those skills in order to move even forward, because let's face it, the world is always evolving. Now, if you're going to get stuck in just certain skills that you have now and not develop them further, then you might get passed by those who have better technology, by those who have newer skills, or those who have developed their skills even further than you. And number 3 is to face fears. We have to face our fears. Facing our fears means that we have to do those things that are a barrier to the place we want to go. Each and one of us has certain fears. You may call them phobias, nightmares, whatever. We have to face them. For example, I myself have a fear of heights, right? But I've taken into account of this. But I'd also like one day to probably fly on a balloon, right? Meaning on an air balloon, one of those air balloons that go up, right? This once you do this, once I do this, basically it means that I'll be able to at least face my fears, because you're at a certain height that you actually fear. Maybe one day also go bungee jumping or go skydiving or something like that. This is how you actually face your fears. Face your fears of heights, face your fears of talking to people, face your fears of socializing. That's the only way you can do it. If you're someone who's introvert, right? You do not speak to people who you're not used to most of the time. You will have to socialize. You will have to speak to people who you think that will actually help you to develop your skills, develop your social skills. That's how you actually face your fears. You do not become like a turtle or tortoise who hides in his shell, who's always hiding in his shell and very scared to come out of the shell. This way you're only going to deteriorate, and your social skills will also deteriorate, or the fear itself will grow. This is how fear grows. By if you fear the thing that you have to do, right, you create that phobia, right, then this is how it grows. But once you face it, what will happen, you will toughen your mental capacity, and you will be able to be resilient in the face of that fear, or in the face of adversity. Number 4, and I could not emphasize this more, but it's one of those very important ones, especially for this time and age that we live on. So that's number 4. That's building emotional intelligence, and this is something that's very, very important, as we know that a lot of things that usually happen in societies because men especially, or even women, but I'm not going to speak on the women right now, because women are supposed to be emotional, but more so on the men. Men are becoming too emotional. They are in fact becoming much more emotional than women are, which is a bit pathetic in my observation. So we have to build emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence and actually it's basically just understanding your emotions, and then being able to manage those emotions, controlling those emotions. Now, as we know it, each and one of us have our own emotional roller coasters. So this means that you have to find out what are those things that trigger your emotions and how best you can calm them down. I've spoken a lot about this, like doing things like meditating, contemplating, finding things that will calm you during emotional outbursts. You can simply walk, run, and do all sort of things, yoga, whatever that makes you much more calmer, or kind of does put your emotions in control. There's no way around this, because a lot of time society has caused us to not be able, or has not taught us to be emotional. It just taught us to be emotional, and as men, as not society has not taught us to control our emotions. Of course, you may blame this on absent fathers. You may blame this on single mothers. You may blame this on whatever. However, as we grow, there's no time for blaming anyone for our own emotions, since we as men are supposed now to take things into our own hands and do what we are supposed to do, and that is control our emotion by building emotional intelligence. This means that we should know what are the very things that trigger our emotions, what are those things that make us do things that we do not, or we are not supposed to be doing at that moment, and then regret those things that we do. We should not do, once you do things that make us regret at the end of the day, obviously we're not in tune with our emotions. That's pretty obvious. You have to find out how you can best control these things. Of course, this is something that will take a very, very long time, and we should take our time to learn about this. If the best way, obviously, is to have friends that are supportive, have a family that is supportive, that can support this. Go to see a doctor, a counselor, a psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever that will make you feel that, okay, this is going to work. If you're going to do it on your own, make sure you know what you're going to do. This is very important, because this is something that we can only take or undertake on our own. We cannot really, we can only have support, people supporting us, and just giving us a way, or finding out a way of best doing the things that we're supposed to do, right? However, we should find out how we can go about the whole thing of really controlling the emotions that we usually trigger, right? And last but not least, this is number 5. We should practice mental endurance. Okay, of course, today I'm talking more about the mental capacity of, or just enhancing our mental capacity. So this goes right through the heart of it. Obviously, the more you endure something, the more you do something in a consistent basis, and doing it with endurance, the better you become at it. So practicing and engaging in activities that require focus, for example, and concentration, once you start with that, then you gradually increase the endurance, right? The duration, rather. All right, you do that over time, and this is how you actually toughen and your mental endurance, and you find that you're better able to be resilient in your mental capacity, because now it's like a mental workout. We know that the more you increase your intensity during a physical workout, just like a physical workout, you increase your intensity, you increase your load, or whatever your sets, right? The more you increase, the more resistance you put into your body, then the much more stronger it will actually get. This is something that's a fact. The same goes for mental endurance, right? The more you put time into something, for example, if you want to learn mathematics, you can just start out like doing a few mathematical practice questions, maybe 20 minutes, 10 minutes, per 10 minutes, 20 minutes a day, or maybe once a week, for example. But then if you increase that, maybe do it twice a week, 20 minutes twice a week, you're increasing your endurance. Then you increase that to 3 times a day, maybe 1 hour for maybe 3 days. For 3 days, you do it for 1 hour. You're increasing your endurance. This way, you're toughening it up. intensity is increasing, obviously you're going to toughen up your mental capacity, and then this is how you grow your mindset also. You toughen and become resilient. This is the same as being consistent with your frequency when it comes to your physical training, right? And I'll stop there, and make sure that you're always learning, you're always increasing your mental capacity to do things just as much as you increase your physical capacity too. These things should go hand in hand. And with that said, till next time, peace to the God.